Come on and explore the wonderful wildlife of Costa Rica.
Bajito como marfil y labradito alrededor, con una estrella en el centro, como flor de esquijochil. En él hubiera bebido la bebida que me dieras, y yo te diré embebido si la vida me pidiera. Bajito como marfil
Put on
y
your
labradito
explorer's
alrededor,
caps
con
and
una
join
estrella en el
us
centro,
as we
como
travel
flor de
from
esquijochil.
California
En él hubiera
down to Costa
bebido la
Rica
bebida que
to
me
see
dieras,
the
y yo te diré
wonderful
embebido si
wildlife
la vida me
living in
pidiera.
Arenal. The bus drivers are true experts here. Home to an astounding amount of wildlife, the Arenal region is one where people blend in with the wildlife. Observe how all the buildings are nestled in this lush, tropical landscape. This land where humans live in such harmony with the nature, of course, brings around such inner happiness. From my personal experience living in Costa Rica, the people here are the kindest in the entire world. Enjoy as we watch this mixture of nature and homestead slowly disperse into thick, luscious rainforest. Take a look at how the road is really drawing a line between this dry, raw earth and the wet climate. Again, roads like this make for very talented drivers. Truly unmatched beauty. Not just in the landscape, but the animals themselves. Costa Rica is home to about 50 species of these incredible hummingbirds. Blessed with such rich diversity, just leaving some fruit, bananas in particular, can bring a wide variety of beautiful and different species. Here we see a silver-throated tanager along with some of those other blue-gray tanagers. It's not random that you're seeing all these different birds together. They often will all forage together in multi-species flocks. Sometimes you'll see the common bush tanager, but they'll always be chased away by the aggressive, clay-colored robin. With so many animals around, things do tend to die, so thankfully we have the vulture to clean up that mess. Known to the scientific community as iguana, the green iguana is one of the most common species found all over Central America. Although known as the green iguana, you can see that there's a pretty high variability in color among these different iguanas. That color will actually change throughout the day. In the morning, they'll be a little bit darker so that they can absorb more sunlight. And then, as the day gets hotter and sunnier, they'll lighten up their skin tone to start to reflect some of those sun's rays. While they seem to be really friendly and all hanging out in this tree together, oftentimes there becomes territorial battles for these different lounging places. So these iguanas have clearly already sorted it out. The iguanas with the bigger dewlap, that little piece hanging down from below the throat, and those big sharp spines all along its back, are indications that they are aggressive top males and that they'll get first pick of which spot to lounge. Very handsome. The bus driver had to pull over as this beautiful, very quick moving three-toed sloth was attempting to cross the road. These animals are actually so slow moving that it allows for this green algae to grow on its back. You can see that green coloration on the upper shoulders and arms. And you might think it is a little disgusting, but actually the sloths love to eat it. and are one of the only animals in the world that grow their own food on their backs. So after a little while, the bus driver took the sloth and put him up in the tree. And now you can see how quickly he flies through the canopy. The nose ring fashion trend started with the buffaloes. At the base of Arenal volcano is the wonderful city of Fortuna, which was named so since the volcano has never exploded all over this fortunate city. This species specializes in eating fruit, and therefore has no gizzard, unlike most other birds. These gorgeous birds, named tanagers, are incredibly diverse and make up almost 4% of all species of birds. They are mostly found in Central America and South America, but there's a couple of species we even have up in North America, like this summer tanager. A study on the nests of the yellow-throated euphonia has shown that these birds have highly developed techniques to avoid nest predation. Females and males will always approach the nest together and take strange routes to enter, hopefully to confuse anyone who might be watching. This very good-looking black-cheeked woodpecker has a fantastic adaptation that it shares with all other woodpeckers, in which its brain sits in a liquid inside of its head, so that when it's jamming its beak against a dead tree, it doesn't receive any brain damage. A funny adaptation that these birds require. We are so lucky to get so close to one of the largest rodents in the world, the agouti. This incredible creature often occupies a territory of up to 1 or 2 hectares, with a female and a male and potentially their offspring. They will mate for life, and will often spend time grooming each other, removing ticks and mites, to make sure that they stay up to date in each other's affairs. Here's a nice look at another one of those mixed species flocks, with some different species of tanagers and some woodpeckers all feeding in this same area. The scarlet-rumped tanagers aren't part of these multi-species flocks all year, and during the summer and winter months, they'll fly around on their own looking for insects. This funny bird is fearless. It's been observed chasing opossums away from its nest. Named after Van Gogh's famous painting, the starry cracker butterfly has a unique technique in which it wards off predators and attracts mates. It can make a cracking noise with its wings by flapping them together. Doesn't that look like an owl's eye? The common morpho butterfly uses a similar strategy. It almost looks like it has 10 eyes all along its wings. It also has a beautiful blue coloration that it likes to hide with its camouflaged dark wings. Take a close look and you can see as it uses its proboscis, its long tongue, to soak up little bits of water from this wet, muddy earth. Beautiful, but also bruised, the malachite butterfly may have been attacked by a bird. My favorite frog in the world, the red-eyed tree frog. This incredible species has a very intense and detailed mating ritual in which the males will jump around on different leaves calling and fighting with one another, and sometimes will even quiver and shake their whole body facing one another, and if one of the males suddenly moves, they will get tackled and held down. These beautiful little frogs occupy the same territory for months on end. Sometimes you can even see these sleepy birds up in North America. Oh, lucky us! Getting this close to the beautiful female emerald basilisk. This lizard is also sometimes known as the Jesus Christ lizard, And that's because they sprint so quickly that they can actually run on the surface of the water. We got lucky to find this lizard at a very interesting moment. She's been very busy burying her eggs under this soil right here. She has to make sure that they're very well hidden so that no predators come and dig them up. So you can watch as she uses her nose, which is pretty covered in dirt here, to pack it down. Beautiful. Well done. Like all mothers, she has to make sure that everything is perfect for her children. As you can see, she is packing it down so it's perfectly smooth. Oh, a little bit of work needed to be done here. After that final pass, she takes a look and makes sure everything is excellent for her little babies. This is the most ferocious lion in the jungle. These birds eat and regurgitate so many seeds that they're considered dispersers in the jungle. This bird is the jungle's alarm clock. It has a dawn song that it sings every morning just until the sun rises. This bird is famous for its crazy courtship behavior, in which it leaps around from branch to branch, like it's doing here, to display those white spots under its wings. It'll even continue doing this behavior while its babies are being incubated, but as soon as they hatch, it totally stops and helps feed its children. This bird communicates by spreading its wings, which can signify a predator or an invasion of its territory. The jackfruit can weigh up to 25 pounds. Think about that next time you eat an apple. This beautiful plant is often used in medicines, generally with conditions around the stomach. This plant is prized by terrarium makers in zoos and different organizations, as it beautifully grows up the side of a cage or a tree like this. The monkey ladder tree is actually a vine and climbs up on other trees. The stilt palm has a fantastic root structure which allows it to survive even when the areas might get flooded. That tangle of roots that forms that stilt shape is also great habitat for tons of different types of animals. It's amazing how nothing grows on the palm except for the bottom and the very top. See how the monkey ladder grows all up on this tree, climbing it. Female mannequins select their mate based on how complex and extravagant their mating dance is. To have the most complex mating dance, you have to have the largest brain. So mate selection is driving these species to have larger brains. You can find a slightly different version of the whiptail in California. Oh, how's this beautiful whiptail with a little friend riding along? Spot the basilisk if you can. These guys eat fish, fruits, flowers, but mainly insects. This bird will not only defend its territory from other hummingbirds, but even bees and moths. Remember, you can see the summer tanager up in North America. While these green iguanas hiding in this tree may look a little bit sedentary and lazy, they actually have fascinating social lives, especially with the young. Hatchling iguanas will stay with their brothers and sisters for a matter of months. They will consistently communicate by head bobbing and rubbing their snouts against one another. They stay with that family group as they're able to identify close relatives by smell. Like the iguanas, the chocolaccas are very family-oriented, and full family groups will scream from the tops of trees every morning. Hey, mind if I go for a swim real quick? This big-billed beauty will often sleep in woodpecker holes with 15 other family members. Come and join us at HabashiWildlife.org for more fun adventures.
noches y también los días en la coyolera.